What if the next global health threat isn't a virus, isn't a bacterium, but a shape-shifting, brain-eating predator hiding in warm lakes, tap water, soil, and even contact lens cases? Tonight, we're diving into a microscopic world that feels like science fiction, but isn't. Scientists are raising quiet but urgent alarms about a little-known group of organisms called free-living amoebae, single-cell microbes that don't need a human or animal host to survive, yet can invade one with devastating consequences. You've probably never heard of them, but some researchers are calling them the next overlooked global health threat. So what are they? Why are infections increasing? And could climate change, aging infrastructure, and modern lifestyles be turning them into a perfect storm? Let's begin. When most people hear the word amoeba, they imagine something harmless from a high school biology textbook, a blob under a microscope slowly extending pseudopods. And yes, that's accurate. But certain species within this broad group, particularly Naegleria fowleri, Acanthamoeba and Balamuthia mandrillaris, are anything but harmless. They're known as free-living amoebae, meaning they exist independently in the environment. Lakes, rivers, soil, hot springs, tap water systems. They don't need us. But if given the opportunity, they can invade us. And when they do, the results can be catastrophic. Let's talk about the most infamous of them all, Naegleria fowleri. It lives in warm freshwater, lakes, ponds, poorly chlorinated pools. Infection doesn't happen by drinking contaminated water. It happens when water forcefully enters the nose, during diving, water sports, or nasal rinsing with contaminated tap water. From there, the amoeba travels along the olfactory nerve, passes through the cribriform plate, and enters the brain. The disease it causes is called primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, or PM. It progresses fast. Symptoms often begin with headache, fever, nausea, then confusion, seizures, coma. Death can occur in as little as 5 days. The fatality rate? Over 97%. Let that sink in. Survival is extraordinarily rare. But here's what's making scientists uneasy. Cases appear to be shifting geographically. Historically concentrated in southern regions, reports are now emerging farther north, consistent with warming freshwater temperatures. Warmer waters, longer summers, more exposure. Is climate change quietly expanding the habitat of a deadly organism? Researchers are increasingly asking that question. If Naegleria is the lightning strike, fast and devastating, Acanthamoeba is the slow burn. This genus is found almost everywhere. Soil, air, water systems, even dust. Most of the time, it doesn't cause problems. But under the right conditions, particularly in contact lens wearers, it can infect the cornea. The disease is called Acanthamoeba keratitis, and it can be excruciating. Severe eye pain, blurred vision, light sensitivity. Treatment can last months. In some cases, corneal transplants are required. And here's the unsettling part. Cases have been linked not just to swimming, but to improper contact lens hygiene, exposure to tap water, even certain multipurpose lens solutions. The organism forms cysts, dormant, highly resilient structures that resist chlorine, extreme temperatures, and disinfectants. They are astonishingly durable. Imagine a microscopic survivalist bunker waiting for the right moment. Then there's Balamuthia mandrillaris. Less well known, but just as deadly. It can enter through skin wounds or inhalation of dust. Once inside, it can spread to the brain, causing granulomatous amoebic encephalitis, a slow-progressing but often fatal disease. Unlike Naegleria, symptoms can take weeks or months to develop. Headaches, personality changes, neurological decline. Diagnosis is difficult, and by the time it's identified, it may already be too late. Mortality rates remain devastatingly high. What makes this particularly alarming is that Balamuthia infections have occurred in otherwise healthy individuals, not just the immunocompromised, and cases have been documented across multiple continents. Free-living amoebae aren't new. So why are researchers sounding louder warnings today? Several converging factors. 1. Climate change. Warmer global temperatures increase freshwater heat levels. Many of these amoebae thrive in warm environments. As average temperatures rise, so does their potential geographic range. 2. Aging water infrastructure. Biofilms and side pipes, especially in older municipal systems, can harbor amoebae. When water stagnates or warms, microbial ecosystems shift. 3. Increased recreational water exposure. More people seeking lakes, rivers, splash pads, and water parks during hotter summers means more potential exposure. 4. Contact lens usage. Millions worldwide wear lenses daily. Even small lapses in hygiene can increase risk. 5. Underdiagnosis. Some researchers suspect cases may go undetected or misdiagnosed, especially when symptoms resemble bacterial or viral meningitis. But here's an even more fascinating and unsettling layer. Free-living amoebae don't just cause disease themselves. They can act as hosts for other pathogens. Inside these amoebae, bacteria can survive, multiply, and evolve resistance. Scientists sometimes refer to this as the Trojan horse phenomenon. Certain bacteria that live inside amoebae become more resistant to disinfectants and environmental stress. In other words, amoebae can serve as training grounds for microbial survival. Some studies suggest that pathogens like Legionella, the bacteria responsible for Legionnaire's disease, can replicate inside amoebae. These relationships may enhance bacterial virulence. We're talking about ecological networks, microscopic alliances that may influence disease emergence. So now we're not just talking about one organism. We're talking about ecological networks, microscopic alliances that may influence disease emergence. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense. Amoebae are predators of bacteria. They engulf them, digest them, but some bacteria evolve strategies to survive inside their predator. Over millions of years, these survival tactics may have inadvertently prepared certain bacteria to evade human immune cells, which use similar engulfment mechanisms. It's a chilling thought. Environmental microbial warfare may be shaping human disease. One of the biggest obstacles is detection. These infections are rare, but often rapidly fatal. Doctors may not immediately suspect amoebic infection. Testing requires specialized labs. Early symptoms mimic more common conditions. Delays in diagnosis mean delays in treatment. And treatment protocols are complex, often involving combinations of antifungal, antibacterial, and antiparasitic drugs. For Naegleria, one drug called miltefosine has shown some promise in rare survivors, but access and timing are critical. Time in these infections is everything. No, these infections remain extremely rare compared to other diseases. But rarity does not equal relevance. Global health history teaches us that emerging threats often start as isolated cases, overlooked, underestimated. Think of how many outbreaks began with just a few unusual infections. The question scientists are asking is not, are free-living amoebae common? It's, are environmental conditions shifting in ways that make them more common? And are we prepared? Simple precautions dramatically reduce risk. Avoid forcing warm fresh water up the nose. Use sterile or distilled water for nasal rinsing. Practice strict contact lens hygiene. Never use tap water on lenses. Proper chlorination of pools and water systems. Public awareness is powerful. Most Naegleria infections occur because people simply don't know the risk exists. Knowledge changes behavior. Behavior changes outcomes. Zoom out. We are living in an age where human activity reshapes ecosystems at unprecedented speed. Urbanization, climate change, water scarcity, infrastructure strain. Microbes respond faster than we do. They adapt, they shift, they exploit new niches. Free-living amoebae remind us that global health isn't just about human-to-human transmission. It's about environmental microbiology, the water we swim in, the pipes beneath our streets, the soil beneath our feet. Will these organisms remain rare curiosities of infectious disease textbooks? Or are we witnessing the early stages of a subtle but expanding threat? Scientists continue to monitor, to research, to map shifting habitats, to refine treatments. But as our planet warms and ecosystems evolve, one truth becomes clear. The microscopic world is not static. It is dynamic, responsive, and sometimes unforgiving. Next time you stand at the edge of a quiet, sunlit lake, the water calm, the surface shimmering, ask yourself, what invisible life thrives beneath? And how much do we truly understand about the ecosystems we immerse ourselves in? Because in the world of free-living amoebae, the story is still unfolding, and we are only just beginning to pay attention. If you found this deep dive fascinating, consider exploring more about emerging infectious diseases and environmental microbiology, because the biggest threats to humanity aren't always the loudest. Sometimes they're microscopic,